Welcome to the Department of Research and Innovation Support. By now you should know me from all the interviews and probably we've had a couple of email correspondences. But if you don't, my name is Nanette Mouton and I'm the Research Grants Manager here at this department. I want to welcome you as an NRF DST intern for this year. Remember that we have chosen you from a whole bunch of applicants. So we think you're pretty special and I think you're going to fit in very nicely with our team. You will be surprised how quickly a year goes by. And I want you to get everything possibly out of this year. And I want you to grab every opportunity that you get to grow professionally and personally. Remember that the intention behind this internship program is really to gain workplace experience. So I hope that there's going to be a couple of exciting projects that you're going to work on. But the reality is that this is an internship program and there are probably going to be a lot of mundane tasks. Brace yourself for these. It's an important part of being an intern is to do some boring things as well. And remember that if I can trust you with these little things, then I'm probably going to feel a lot more comfortable trusting you with the exciting projects as well. So what is this? This is an orientation pack. It's a series of videos and audio clips that will help you settle in. I want you to listen to these videos and the audio, make some notes if you have queries, if some things are not making sense to you, and we can discuss that in person. There are additional resources that I'm going to refer to below each video, and the hard copies will be in your office. I want you to familiarize yourself with these. You're going to need everything that I refer to during this year. Remember that I'm assuming that everything is set up after you've gone through this orientation pack. Don't freak out. If there are any hurdles along the process, I'm going to tell you in each video where do you go to get it resolved. So some practical issues. Our work hours are between 8 and 5 every day. Lunch is usually for an hour from 1:30. But I'm really not strict when it comes to work hours. So if you want to come in a little bit later, leave a little bit earlier, that is fine. But I'm going to expect that the work is done. So don't take this freedom for granted because it can really easily start a process where I start policing you. There are a couple of great restaurant or lunch options on campus. One is called etiquette. It's just behind our offices. They also deliver. The other one is Adler, which is next to etiquette, and there are a couple of restaurants close to the aula. I'm going to give you all the telephone numbers below this session of these restaurants so that you can sort yourself for lunch if you don't want to bring any of your own. So you're going to find out we're pretty relaxed, yeah, but we're still in a professional workplace. So please don't play your music too loudly, whether that's over your phone or over your computer. When you use your headphones, it shouldn't be that loud that you can't hear your landline. You're expected to answer your landline. Always keep your door open. It should look like you're here and that you're available to work. Also, don't talk too loudly. It sounds kind of silly to say, but there are other colleagues on this floor, and in fact we have a meeting room as well, so take your colleagues into consideration. It's very, very important that you do not abuse the telephone or the internet. Every employee has a cap of 200 Rand, which must include your work telephone calls. Of course, you're welcome to use it to make personal calls, but don't abuse it. Okay? We get a report of all telephone calls every month. So as soon as you go over that cap, we are going to see whether it was for work purposes or personal purposes, and you may be asked to pay the difference. Coffee and tea is available in the kitchen. Feel free to use the mugs, to use the coffee, the tea, the sugar. You're also welcome to use the fridge to put your lunch in, or the microwave. But respect other people's food. Don't eat anybody else's lunch, only your own. Also, you can't use the milk for anything like porridge. It's only for coffee and for tea. Again, we're pretty relaxed, but I don't expect you to wear a business suit or something like that. But try to dress kind of professionally. Cover up your assets. Just try to dress a little bit office casual, if I can put it that way. You never know, I could ask you at any time to join me for a meeting, and I want you to be presentable, to look presentable when you come with me. Safety is an issue on campus, so lock your door, even if you're only going to the toilet or to the kitchen. Always lock your door. Also, don't leave your mobile phone, your handbag, or any valuables outside on your desk, even while you're in your office. It's so quickly that people distract you, that somebody can distract you and grab your phone, and you only realize it when they're already out of the door. So be safe, lock things up, and keep an eye on your valuables. A few points on etiquette. When you answer the phone, I want you to be friendly and professional. So always answer the phone by saying your name and saying that you are working at the Department of Research and Innovation Support. Remember that many times that telephone conversation is a first impression, and I want it to be a good impression for the researchers, but also for our funders that might phone in. If somebody asks you something that you don't know, make sure that you take a detailed message. You can take a message asking them for their extension. Make sure that you get their names and their surnames. Write the message down. If I'm not here, you can email me the message, and we're going to tell you how to use GroupWise and how to set that up so you can use GroupWise for your emails. So if anybody asks you something that you don't know, take a detailed message, give it to me, or email it to me if I'm not in the office, and I will resolve it. The same goes with emails. Remember that we work in an academic environment. I never want you to become too familiar with the academics. So it's always Professor so-and-so or Dr. so-and-so, and always using their surnames also. So Professor Susan Steinman, not just Professor Susan. Keeping to that etiquette is kind of important. If spelling is an issue, good luck for you, because GroupWise has a spell check function. So I want you to use spell checker before you send your things out. That said, I'm very, very glad that you could join us for this year, and I'm so looking forward to work with you. So let's get started. You can go down the page and start with session number 1 of the orientation pack.